When Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam grew old, Allah blessed him with 12 sons. Among them all, the one closest to his heart was Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf was not only beautiful in appearance, but Allah had also blessed him with purity, intelligence, and a special destiny. Yaqub loved him deeply, and this love soon became the reason jealousy began growing in the hearts of Yusuf's brothers. One night, young Yusuf saw an extraordinary dream. In the dream, he saw 11 stars, the sun, and the moon bowing down to him. Confused yet amazed, Yusuf ran to his father and said, "Oh, my father, indeed I have seen 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating to me." Surah Yusuf 12:4. Yaqub immediately understood this was not an ordinary dream. Allah was showing signs of Yusuf's future greatness. He lovingly warned his son, "O my son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, or they will contrive against you a plan." Surah Yusuf 12:5. Yaqub feared the jealousy already hidden inside their hearts. As time passed, the brothers' jealousy became stronger. They began saying to one another, "Yusuf and his brother are more beloved to our father than us." Surah Yusuf 12:8. Their jealousy blinded them. Instead of correcting their own hearts, they blamed Yusuf. Eventually, Shaitan pushed them toward a terrible plan. Some suggested killing Yusuf, while another brother proposed abandoning him somewhere far away. One day they came to Yaqub pretending innocence. They asked, "Send Yusuf with us tomorrow so he may play and enjoy himself." Surah Yusuf 12:12. Yaqub felt uneasy. A father's heart sensed danger. He replied that he feared a wolf might eat Yusuf while they were careless. But the brothers continued insisting until Yaqub reluctantly allowed Yusuf to go. Deep in the desert, far from home, their hatred finally exploded. They grabbed Yusuf and dragged him toward a dark well. Yusuf cried out in fear, but their hearts had become hard. They threw the young boy into the darkness of the well and abandoned him there, alone. At that terrifying moment, Allah sent revelation to Yusuf, comforting him. "You will surely inform them someday about this affair, while they do not realize." Surah Yusuf 12:15. Even in the darkness of the well, Allah had not abandoned Yusuf. The brothers returned home, crying falsely. They brought Yusuf's shirt, stained with fake blood, and claimed a wolf had eaten him. But Yaqub immediately recognized the lie. The shirt was untouched, no tearing, no signs of attack. Yet despite the immense pain in his heart, Yaqub did not curse them. Instead, he said, "So patience is most fitting, and Allah is the one sought for help." Surah Yusuf 12:18. This became one of the greatest examples of patience in Islamic history. Meanwhile, travelers passing through the desert stopped near the well for water. When they lowered their bucket, they were shocked to find a young boy clinging to it. They pulled Yusuf out and decided to sell him secretly as merchandise. Yusuf, the beloved son of a prophet, was sold for only a few coins in the markets of Egypt. In Egypt, a powerful minister known as El-Aziz purchased Yusuf. Allah placed love for Yusuf in his heart. He told his wife, "Make his stay comfortable. Perhaps he may benefit us, or we may adopt him as a son." Surah Yusuf 12:21. Thus Allah moved Yusuf from the darkness of the well into the palace of Egypt.
Years passed, and Yusuf grew into a man of extraordinary beauty and character. Allah blessed him with wisdom and knowledge. But another great trial awaited him. The wife of Al-Aziz became obsessed with Yusuf. One day, when they were alone, she locked the doors and tried to seduce him. But Yusuf feared Allah. Despite the temptation, he immediately refused and said, "I seek refuge in Allah." Surah Yusuf 12:23. He ran toward the door while she chased him from behind, tearing his shirt. At that moment, her husband entered and discovered them. To protect herself, she accused Yusuf instead. But Allah made the truth clear. A witness from her own family suggested examining the shirt. Since the shirt was torn from the back, it proved Yusuf had been running away, not towards sin. Even after his innocence became clear, rumors spread throughout the city. Women began gossiping about the minister's wife being obsessed with her servant. Angry and embarrassed, she invited these women to a gathering. She gave each woman a knife and fruit to cut. Then she called Yusuf into the room. The moment they saw Yusuf, they were overwhelmed by his beauty. In shock, they accidentally cut their own hands and said, "This is not a man. This is none but a noble angel." Surah Yusuf 12:31. Yet despite Yusuf's innocence, the pressure and scandal became so intense that he was eventually imprisoned, and still Yusuf remained patient. Inside prison, Yusuf did not stop worshipping Allah or calling people toward truth. 2 prisoners entered with him and both saw dreams they could not understand. Yusuf interpreted their dreams accurately, but before interpreting them, he first called them toward worshipping Allah alone. Even inside prison, he remained a prophet inviting people to faith. One prisoner was told he would serve wine to the king again. The other was told he would be executed. Exactly as Yusuf predicted, it happened. Years later, the king of Egypt saw a strange dream about 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 thin cows and 7 green spikes of grain alongside 7 dry ones. None of the advisors could explain it. Then the former prisoner remembered Yusuf. When Yusuf interpreted the dream, he explained that Egypt would experience 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. He advised them how to prepare and save resources. The king was amazed by Yusuf's wisdom and demanded his release. But Yusuf refused to leave prison until his innocence was publicly proven. Eventually, the women admitted the truth, and the wife of Al-Aziz confessed, "Now the truth has become evident. I sought to seduce him." Surah Yusuf 12:51. Finally, Yusuf walked out of prison honored instead of humiliated. The king placed Yusuf in charge of the treasures and economy of Egypt. Allah had raised the boy once thrown into a well to one of the highest positions in the land. Then came the famine exactly as Yusuf predicted. People from surrounding lands traveled to Egypt searching for food, including Yusuf's brothers. When they entered his court, Yusuf recognized them immediately, but they did not recognize him. Yusuf treated them generously and asked them to bring their younger brother Binyamin next time. When they returned with him, Yusuf secretly kept Binyamin with him through a plan permitted by Allah. The brothers became terrified. How could they return to their father without another son? Back home, Yaqub's grief became even greater. Years of crying over Yusuf had caused him to lose his eyesight. Yet even after all those years, he still believed Allah would reunite him with Yusuf. He said, "I only complain of my suffering and grief to Allah." Surah Yusuf 12:86. These words remain among the greatest examples of trust and patience ever spoken. Finally, Yusuf could no longer hide the truth. He revealed himself to his brothers and asked, "Do you know what you did to Yusuf and his brother when you were ignorant?" Surah Yusuf 12:89. The brothers were shocked. Fear filled their hearts. They realized the powerful minister before them was the same brother they once betrayed. But Yusuf did not seek revenge. Instead, he forgave them completely and said, "No blame will there be upon you today. May Allah forgive you." Surah Yusuf 12:92. What incredible mercy. What incredible character. Yusuf then sent his shirt back with his brothers and told them to place it over Yaqub's face. The moment the shirt touched Yaqub, his eyesight returned by the permission of Allah. Then came one of the most emotional reunions in history. After decades of separation, pain, grief, and patience, Yaqub and Yusuf embraced once again. The dream Yusuf saw as a child finally came true. His parents and brothers honored him, fulfilling Allah's promise from years before. Yusuf looked back at his entire life, the well, slavery, betrayal, prison, loneliness, and hardship, and realized every painful moment had been part of Allah's perfect plan. He said, "Indeed, my Lord is subtle in what He wills." Surah Yusuf 12:100. The story of Yusuf teaches humanity that no matter how dark life becomes, Allah's plan is always greater than our pain. Betrayal may come from those closest to you, hardship may last years, but patience, faith, and trust in Allah can transform a well into a palace and a prisoner into a leader. And that is why the story of Yusuf is called by Allah Himself the best of stories. Surah Yusuf 12:3.